Final Pogba will leave it for Rashford. He strikes. Oh, it's a goal! Staying on his feet this time. Look, they went for Martial. Lovely touch by Fernandez. Cavani! Rashford all the way across goal. What a finish!
Welcome, everyone, fellas, and welcome to All In, All United. The Emirates FA Cup action, bench, Marcus Rashford, Phil, and Nico, fellas. We through to the next round, and we're going to be facing Middlesbrough at Old Trafford. So I'm expecting Middlesbrough to come and dominate us in our house. Right?
What? Say it again? Say it
I
again?
expecting Middlesbrough to come at Old Trafford and dominate us. Right? And I expect our big millionaire stars, right, to put on disaster classes as they have been doing for quite some time now. And we go win. We will get through. Right? By some miracle. Yeah. Some kind of goal, somebody go score and we go win it. But we'll continue. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I don't know what we're going with Manchester United. But anyway, what are you saying?
Hey, good night. Well, I guess first and foremost, we are true. Hope is that, my eternal hope is that by the time Middlesbrough come around, we'll get some kind of confidence, some type of form. Some of our players will catch, we're maybe gonna a bad patch and look good. Right? I sort of look good. I decided after 4 or 5 games bad patch, at least we could take that. Right? Hopefully by that time, but I really not see Middlesbrough coming and doing anything, to be honest. But for me, at the present moment, I guess they could be feeling good about their chances, especially after Aston, Arsenal, from the FA Cup. But I think all in all, we through and we should feel good that Middlesbrough coming in the camp in the next round.
Yeah, and Nico, don't put nothing past because remember this is the tournament where it's the
Yeah,
David
I ain't put
Goliath
nothing past
narratives,
nobody.
and the
No,
Giants just get sent
but
home.
still, yeah, I know, but still, it could have been worse. We could have got a star. I just saying, we could have got a City, we could have got a Chelsea. We didn't get it. We didn't get none of those. So
I don't know if
make
it
it
matter
true, man.
now. I don't know if it matter at all right now. The way we playing, it doesn't matter. We could have get Barcelona or we could have get Trinidad and Tobago in that FA Cup and it was the same rubbish. Trust me when I tell you that, Nico. I don't think it matter. Before I go to film and just get some comments up for those who on the inside already. King on really pre. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining. Jesus Hackshaw. Thanks for joining. Richard saying, to be honest, first I fed up. If I didn't get the notification from the app, I wouldn't even have come. You don't know to that game today. Which I ain't blame you. Dwayne saying correct. Jesus saying, Nico, you're really living in hope that we'll go through a bad patch.
Yeah, boy, I tell you,
Diane, thanks for joining. Good night. She's saying it's been a while. Happy New Year. Yes.
Hey,
She said taking
happy
the
New Year
win.
to you too.
Yeah. I mean, we taking the win. We taking the win. Phil, what are you saying?
What can I say is the only difference between today's performance and other performances is one love. That's all. I'm kind of numb as to the performances that certain players
Oh
are
my
putting in.
goodness.
And for some reason, Ole can't see it. Ralph can't see it. Only us on All United can see it. But you know what? Some players will get their chance. They'll play a load of crap, and they'll be on the bench again. And that's the kind of club we are right now. It's almost like there's favoritism here, and it's almost like there's no improvement under Ralph. Nobody can tell me if there's a difference between the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer regime and the Ralph regime. Nobody can tell me that.
Phil, that's not before I go. Phil, you think it too early to make that assumption? Yes, I know we're seeing it in front of our eyes. We are seeing more or less the same thing. But you think it maybe still a bit too early in Ralph Reign to say that it's the same thing.
Nicole, let's go back. Let's go back to the Crystal Palace match where it was Ralph's first match in charge, right? Why didn't we? Why haven't performances after that built up on that? Right? Nobody can tell me. You can't tell me that there has been a performance under Ralph that has been better than the first 30 minutes versus Crystal Palace. You can't. Every single performance that we've
Has
seen
gotten worse.
has gotten worse. And
Yeah.
sometimes you got to wonder if this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer again, right? If
Yeah.
it's too early, like I said when Ralph was hired, I given him to the end of January, middle of February, right? By then, we should at least see some sort of transition, right? Nico, I can't see any style of play. All we seeing is, or all we hearing is that we're supposed to get some gen press. We're getting deep press. We're not getting no gen press.
Yeah. And I think that happened well over time. We well, I guess even Ralph would have been realizing we do have the players for that structure or that system he wants to play or that pressing style. He is actually realizing it now, and even from the formation he went with today, you see like he is moving away from that. You know,
Nico, how long was Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa?
Yeah, these are the things, Nico.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
making
yeah.
excuses for
How long was
nothing.
Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa? One, two.
Maybe he came. Maybe when he was recruited, they recruited a manager who played with a similar style. But Ralph come with a total different brand, a
Nah,
different style of what
Nico,
we
nah,
played. But
you're
I no,
lucky.
I'm not sure I'm quoting it. And I think, but I just say all I just saying is, I think we still should give it a better time. That is all.
All right. So just while we were discussing, David Curtin came on and Jody on the inside. So good night, guys. Thanks for joining. So fellas, if I being honest, right, exactly what I saw today is what I expected. Right now, let me explain. I expected that the first couple minutes, would have been high energy. Because after all that happened over the last couple of days, with the division in the dressing room, to the issues with the quality and credentials of Ralph Ragnick's staff, to his training methods, the recent performances and results, the team simply needed to react today. Now, unfortunately, we were outplayed. As the game progressed, our true colors started to show. Mistakes, foolish tackles, poor decisions, and poor decisions. And we continue, I think I mentioned it earlier, to get dominated by lesser teams in terms of history. Right? We continue to individually have, subpar performances. Right, and let me say this, right? I don't know if any of you all, who looking on would have noticed the slide, the picture that we had up before, we came on screen, and it's a banner that was going across the crowd, and it was saying standards, something that we seem to have lost or lowered. I don't know, but for me it's damning, right? But as we noted before, we're fortunate to make it to the fourth round of the FA Cup. And let's hope, Nico, you mentioned it, let's hope, because I think after the last show, Phil and Nico, both of you all talking about hope. Let's hope that in some way, the fellas could find standards that Man United have held for so many years that we seem to have lost now. Because I am telling you, I don't think Old Trafford is a fortress anymore. You see when Gerrard walked out the dugout, people, he was getting a little kind of anti-reception, if I could call it, and he turned around, he shoved a gum in his mouth, he chewed, and then in the press conference after, he said it was nothing. He went different stadiums and he had different experience. That was more intimidating. So you telling me Old Trafford not intimidating anymore? Where have our standards gone, fellas?
Nah, remember Old Trafford is for visitors. Old Trafford is for visitors. Nobody in Old Trafford ready from.
And you're right. You're right. It's for visitors in the stands and on the pitch too, because the visitors on the pitch come in and operating like they're home. Dread. Hey, let me just get some comments here, right? Jody saying blessed night everyone. Blessed
Hey
night to
Jody,
you too,
good night.
buddy.
Yeah, man.
He's saying, although we won the game, in my opinion, it felt like a loss. Of course, because we want to see our team play well. So you're right. David Curtin saying McFred score assist. Talk to them nice. One moment in the game and the rest we couldn't see them. All the behavior. David Dennis, thanks for joining, man. He's saying agreed with Nico. Give him some time. I don't know when I David Dennis, when I watch the other teams and Phil made a reference to Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa. Why is we always making these excuses for Manchester United? We supposed to have better players.
I'm gonna give him time, okay? But I can only comment on what I've seen so far since Ralph has taken over. I can give him time, okay? I will.
All right, Dwayne, thanks for joining. But he's saying,
Hey,
Nico,
man,
it's
good
a
night.
matter of not having the players or the players not wanting to adapt to the style of play because of their mindset. Jesus saying, thanks, Phil. When I said we were regressing some games ago, men ball, we can't expect things to flip over. You have to be a clown. I stayed quiet. And you're all now coming to that realization. Yeah. King and Really Pre saying a good bit of players, not for Ralph. Yeah. Dwayne also saying, my thing is you get a manager who will take all the fire of the players, of his players. They throw him under the bus. If you get a manager that is very serious and will call players out, they still throw him under the bus. Yeah, what the hell? Richard saying, Reams, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. I hope some players leave and give way for proper ballers. That is the hope. Rashford just lost his spot in the team. Nah, Rashford coming back next game. Trust me.
I got a question for you guys or anybody watching, right? Has Ralph ever managed a team with egos? Ask yourself that question because I can call the likes of Sadio Mane, Erling Haaland, but when he discovered those guys were up and coming players. I don't think Ralph has ever managed a team that has had this much ego. So, in my opinion, Ralph can talk whatever he wants. He can give a TEDx talk. I don't care. You have about 8 to 10 egos in this team. You have about 3 or 4 cliques in this team. Everybody wants to be in this specific group because we speak a specific language, this and that. We're from a specific country. That's how our team is right now. I don't think Ralph has ever had this scenario presented to him, right?
Yeah. If we're talking about today's game, right? And I being totally honest, I think the only reason Aston Villa looked how they look today is because we continue to give away the ball. And to me, how can I sit and blame Ralph for that? Because to me, we were looking good enough until we gave away the ball. And Aston Villa was only waiting for us to give away the ball. And every time we give away the ball,
Nico, for 90 minutes.
Continue to give away the ball. The entire
Thank you.
team just
Thank
continue
you.
to give away the ball. And if we continue to give away the ball, then it's difficult to blame the coach. Because honestly, I find the team look different today. I find we started good and we was looking good. And the problem was we continue to give away the ball. And as we give away the ball, is pace and counter attack, and we had this piece and looking all over the place.
Give me 20 seconds, Reem. And from minute 1, Nico, to minute 90. Buendia, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, those guys played 1-2 for 90 minutes. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And you trying to tell me that Fred and Scott still can't pick that up, Nico? They played 1-2. They could not handle that. They could not handle that, Nico.
If we have proper technical midfielders, the team would play different under the same system under Ralph. Because how it is, as you would have said, Phil, that the same play over and over, right? And we cannot read it. And it's the same way we're giving away the ball over and over and over. And we can't find a way to play out with the ball, right? Can't find a way to make proper passes, right? And to me,
Nico,
how you blaming the coach for that? Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, right? It have something, because I'll tell you something, right? And it have a reason why at the end of the day, managers just get the sack, because they have to make the critical decisions, right? Now, let me just digress a little bit, right? In
Mm-hmm.
terms of, you say you thought that we played well, right? Now, I being honest with you, I being plain, or they might disagree, but anytime I see Man U possess the ball, it's not because Man United, sorry. Anytime I see we possess the ball, it's not because we just better than the team we play. It's because the team that we playing have a strategy. In my opening comments, right, I said that everybody was expecting a response from this Manchester United team with all the bacchanal that was going on during the week. So obviously, as a team, I'm gonna tell if I am Aston Villa's manager, if I'm Steven Gerrard, I'm telling my team, I say, here what's going on. We're going to expect a flurry in the opening 10 minutes. Right?
But I know what happened now.
No, hold
Reem.
on. Hold on.
Go ahead.
What I saw was Aston Villa, try to maintain a certain level of positional discipline, right? And they allowed us to move the ball from side to side.
You know
Nothing
why?
was penetrative. Nothing.
You know why?
Right?
You know
Because
why?
listen. And I am telling you something. Every time Man United got the ball, they try to and I saw this under Oli. I saw this under Oli. So it was real annoying to me to see that Ralph Ragnick, this big professor, come in and still utilizing some of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics. But I see the team drift to the left, to the right, and Rashford biting the line on the left hand side, and we crossing those diagonals. That was so Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Nico, you know, unorganized we were today. We had about 4 players on the left. We had Luke Shaw, we had Fred, we had Bruno, we had Marcus Rashford. That means the midfield is exposed. What's our
No. Let me just finish. Let me just finish my point.
Yeah.
Every time Rashford got the ball, he was supposed to take on. He get double team. He chuck back. He play back the ball, and if not, a cross. And when he played back to Shaw, a cross inside the box for who to handle. Right? Mings. That was easy. So we didn't really threaten. That's why when we scored,
But
I
we
was glad.
created.
But let me tell you something.
We created a lot of chances in this game. But go ahead.
Yeah, we did. But when we scored, right, I was surprised. I was like, we score? But I was glad. No, the chances, just to answer that question that you made, the chances that we created in the game was because of that early goal we scored. Right? That
To me,
early goal we scored.
throughout this entire game, we had chances.
Nothing
as
really
much-
threatening as
You
nothing
find
really
so-
clear
the
cut
decision-
or threatening as
But
far
the
as
decision,
I'm concerned.
the decision making was not there. Marcus
Exactly.
Rashford had 2 times to either cut inside and close down the space on him, the defender behind him, and Emi Martinez, but he decided to hold the flank on the right, which means more space opening up. That's the first one. There was a time where Marcus Rashford could have played in Mason Greenwood early. Early is the decision making, Nico. It's decision.
Because it had three United players against 2 defenders from Aston about 3 times or 4 times in the games it had that.
The next thing,
Decision
Nico,
making continue to affect us.
The next thing, Nico, right? And I just watched the game, and I saw after our early flurry, all of a sudden we had energy, but we didn't have no pressure because even Ralph said after the game, Aston Villa was playing through the little hustle we had with ease. With ease. And then Aston Villa started to grow in the game, and how much times I've been seeing this, fellas, where we start off hot and sweaty, and then the team just kind of manage we out, and then they just start to build in confidence, and then the whole tide of the game turn. And Phil mentioned it, Aston Villa playing through, and not only the midfield, even an our 18-yard box line, you have how much, about 5 or 6 Manchester United players there. And
because the same midfield who trying to defend.
But the point I'm making, Nico, is when we in Aston Villa half, and we on top of their box, and they crowding out the area, we have no more ideas. But when they pin us back on our box and about 7 or 8 of our players crowd them out, 1-2s, and they gain opportunities and shooting at our goalkeeper. Right? So when I look at that, I had to ask myself, I say, what these guys doing? Look, it's the shot McGinn get that David De Gea to pull off a save. McTominay stand up there and watching the man.
Watching.
Yeah.
What it is all man doing?
I'll tell you again, and Ralph spoke about it in the interview, right? That the midfield is the problem.
No, let me just touch on this, Nico. Sorry, just to cut you, right?
Go ahead.
The part of the problem with the midfield not being the issue, if you realize Aston Villa playing with 3 midfielders, right? Then Mr. Bruno Fernandes has to have some more positional discipline on that pitch, right? You can't go because you is number 10 because we realize we play a different formation today, right? We
Yeah,
didn't play the
yeah,
4-2-2, we play a
yeah.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
You had to recognize, hey, my midfield getting out overrun,
Overlooked.
right? Let me tuck in a little more and let me try to work with Fred and McTominay inside it, as opposed to
but Reem,
them guide them walk, let them do that, and I go and run about the place and do what I want to do.
but Reem, again, as I tell you, right? When we have the ball, right? We have the ball from the back and we billing to the front, right? We billing more or less to attack. But the silly, bad passes is what is being caught, helling us to be caught out so many times. Because when we build to attack. So everybody getting in the formation, right, to attack. But when I see a simple, straightforward pass, a man get it wrong. You know what happened to the whole team? And to me, that is what happened. And that is how, if I was a coach, I could play against Manchester United. Because you know why? Or I say, yeah, what? Sit tight, play with two players that we say in between our back and our midfield, right? They're gonna make a bad pass. As they make sure it's speedy players, and as they make the bad pass, I play the ball forward. And that is it.
Reem,
And that is it.
Reem, you know how many times Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes gave away the football today from simple football.
Simple passes.
Reem, we make football look so difficult and complicated. I would rather watch paint dry, buddy. Nah, what am I laughing? But football looks so difficult today. Jesus Lord, but we make football so difficult, boy.
But my thing, right? Everything that we do, right, from passing the ball from McTominay to Fred to even trying to get Bruno in the football, it looks so unnatural to us, right? And that's the issue I having. We trying to create chances. Because what I could credit the team today with is creating space to attack, and we didn't utilize it because somebody mentioned it before. We switched the play from the right to the left and the left to the right to give the players with the ability for one-on-ones to one-on-one. And every time Rashford get the ball, Rashford moving so slow that he not capitalizing on the opportunity where he would be facing a one-on-one situation, where he will take it so long, where by the time he get the ball and he decides to do something, it's two defenders on him. Then he had to turn and look back for Luke Shaw, and what Luke Shaw gonna do? Cross it in for Mings to clear it.
Thank you.
It's like it's not natural to us to be creative. You understand? And I am looking at Aston Villa. I'm looking at where's the striker for Aston Villa? Watkins. I'm watching Watkins and Buendia and the youth man. What's his name?
At the end of the day, is we making these players look good. I tell you, all we need to get is two quality midfielders in that team. Players who could pass the ball.
The two quality midfielders could get frustrated with Bruno, Rashford, and them boy and them.
And bench Rashford, right? I taking you longer, play longer. Right?
Nico, you don't know how frustrating it was to watch Marcus Rashford today.
I telling you.
Jesus Christ, boy.
Let me bring back Martial in the team. Better we put Martial where Rashford is.
Reem can be joking, but I will put Anthony Lang or Anthony Martial in this team with Marcus Rashford.
Ole want Marcel back in the team? Ole?
In front of Rashford? Boy, I
want
take
Marcel back.
Yes.
But let people say for Shalom out. Boy, let Marcel go. No, leave. Ole leave. As I tell you before, leave Marcel out of all your mouth, right? Because I telling all you a long time, and Nico, you especially who know from day one. Wait, hold your hand. From day one. And I see Chef in the comment, Chef, listen to me. Right? From day one, I telling all you, I say all of the team not playing properly, and it will make good players look like rubbish. Right? We need more technical players on the field. But because our boy are running, and because our boys can't smile, he getting heavy down. Take all again. Leave Marcel out of your mouth. Let me go with Rashford. Let me get some comments. Where was I? Okay, here. Jesus actually saying, thanks, Phil. When I said we were... I said this one already. All right. Did I say this one? Yes, I did. Where was I? Oh, right. King Unruly Poo saying Ilanga taking Rashford
I want to
spot.
see that. I want to see that. I watch me if you play a hungry Langa against Aston Villa on the weekend. You might see something different.
And here's where the difference will come as well. If Elanga plays crap versus Aston Villa, I play in Elanga again too because some of these
Well,
players
this is
getting
this is
chance
it.
after
This is
chance
it.
after chance and
This
playing
is
shit
it.
all the time.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah,
It's Phil. It's when you have certain players who are allowed to be shit and still play. Everybody else
If
could only get one
Elanga
good
gets
game.
taking
a minus
taking
1 out
Elanga.
of 10, if Elanga gets a minus 1 out of 10 versus Aston Villa this weekend, I play him again.
You had to play him again. You had to
I
play him
see.
again because
And I agree
everybody
with
else
that.
getting that
I agree
opportunity.
with that.
You
I
agree
agree
with it
with
for
that.
Langa, but you don't agree with it for Van de
But
Beek.
Elanga come on, Elanga doesn't good enough.
So where you saying Van de Beek don't look good when he come on?
No.
Please. Jesus again, spot on, Phil. I mentioned in another group about leadership management and the youths, millennials with egos. It's not easy at all. True that. Simeon, welcome, buddy. He's saying, is true Fletcher is Ralph Boss sitting next to him?
I doubt that affecting anything, man.
Eric, welcome, man. He's saying, yes, Phil. Ralph might be the guy who finds stars, but not the guy who manages them. Jody saying, Nico, true. A few times when we was controlling the game versus Villa, looked like they could take a 5G today. What, you watching a different game by Jody?
There. No, I tell you, we was looking okay, but you just continue to give away the ball. Anyway,
Dwayne saying, Dan, our whole team chemistry off apart from that midfield. Apart from the midfield.
Apart from-
Or you mean
I don't
including?
understand.
You mean including the midfield?
Yeah, I feel the mid included. We can't say what style of play we play with our chemistry for years under any manager. It's really non-existent. Agreed. Hey, Peter, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining. It's been a while.
night.
Thanks for joining nonetheless. Mickey, blessed night to you too, buddy. Thanks for joining. Chef, he's saying, somehow I'm glad I drink rum all day and fall asleep. I couldn't take Rashford straight. He said,
Hey, they did the right thing.
I tell it earlier, Ralph just making notes and to keep and get rid of the. Here now.
That I will be surprised.
No,
I tell
but
you,
here's
Ralph
my
is
issue.
setting up the next man who come in to fail.
No, but
Ralph
here
is
is my
not
issue.
setting up the next man who come in to fail.
Here
I'm
is my
telling you.
issue, right, fellas?
You could
Here's
take
my
all the shops
issue.
for them.
No, but here is my issue, right, fellas? I hear what Chef saying here that Ralph taking notes to get rid of men, but in the press conferences, I'm not convinced that is the case, right? Because
You find
I mean,
so?
I will
I
go
find
back.
him real open. I find him real open.
open.
Because
He
the
open,
man say
but-
what the issues is, and the man dropping men. You see Rashford get dropped, you see Bruno get dropped. Yes, they come back, right? But them fellas getting dropped.
When I listen to Antonio Conte talk, he is the one that I will say making notes and will get rid of, man. I not see. Let me just do something for you, right? And I did it purposefully. I want to look at some of Ralph Ragnick quotes after today's game, right? So just bear with this. Right? Let me start with Rashford. I don't have the full comment. Anyway, but what Ralph says, it would be good for Marcus to score as long as he's trying and training well. I don't see much of a problem, right?
That don't mean that don't mean he's not gonna get benched. That don't mean he's not gonna get benched.
This is Ralph and McTominay. He's an academy boy. His energy is
But
amazing.
yeah,
Hear
I
the kind of words this man uses. This is what has upset me. He also starts scoring goals and is also with leadership skills. I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years he would be the captain. And he said the captain of Manchester United. I just don't have enough characters, right? Them is the kind of thing. I'm not hearing.
But to be
I'm not
honest,
gonna be hearing.
McTominay is the one who with leadership on that field. And that's been as not good as he is, which I want him out of the team. He's one of them who say not good enough. Not good enough.
What you say as leadership skill? Because you could say, come on, fellas, come on. Please,
Yeah,
say it, man, rubbish.
you see
Lead
why
by
I
example.
did
Lead by example. Like all I want you to play proper football. Don't clap and tell me, come on. Hackshaw saying, better I come on it does him.
Yeah.
Joe said, boy, Bruno Real give away the ball today. Yes, everybody. They saying that's why you're not on. I was wondering.
I mean, not on the show, yeah.
Okay. Yes, right. David Dennis said Nico Donny could pass, huh? Yeah. But Nico, I want to hear that.
That's some question marks over that. But we could talk
Chef
about
saying,
that.
yeah, Chef saying the little I see with Bruno Rashford and Victor, it was horrendous. Oh, you see that mistake Victor Lindelof make today?
But I
My
still take it
goodness.
Victor Lindelof over Harry Maguire.
I gotta be a little bit lenient with Victor Lindelof because that's probably the
Yes,
first or second mistake he made for the season. But you
I
can't,
am.
nobody can't tell me that Harry Maguire got 2 or 3 mistakes
Yeah,
in per
yeah,
game. Per game.
exactly. I taking that. And that
I
centre
that,
back
that was,
pairing, I wish I could see that centre back pairing for the rest of the season as much because you see, I seen a combination of things, and not two of the same things. Then love a little pace, better on the ground. Could read the game, and Varane could do what he does, right? But Maguire and Varane, I think that's a bad combination.
well, let me see if Ralph could give it the opportunity, yeah? And the time of
Yeah,
day. Simeon saying here, so pretty much the difference between Ralph and Ollie is Ollie will say slim margins, effort, blah blah blah. Ralph will tell you exactly what the issue is, but seems powerless to fix it. Like someone telling him, don't touch that.
I
Wow.
and I fe- and I feeling so too because I think look at the other managers who came into to let me say new clubs mid-season more or less. They would have been in the transfer market. Even Conte talking about getting into the transfer market, but for some reason you seem like we are not going into the transfer market when Ralph clearly knows right where the team weakness are.
Yeah, yeah. He's just saying no. Nico, you starting to joke. Marcel, no man.
But Rashford, how you gonna take Rashford for my talking about it? Well,
Eric saying, yeah. Eric saying Rashford rubbing off on Greenwood.
nah, it's good. But
Jody saying even Rashford was frustrating. Watching.
watching Rashford play. Hey,
Mickey Robinson
So,
said yes, Reem. He's Mr. Fall Down for me. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Chrissy Riley, thanks for joining, but he's saying leave my boy Rashford. Yes. Don't
Marcel,
talk about
yeah.
Rashford. Leave him out, all him
Marcel,
out.
Marcel, we talk about Marcel and
Martial,
Rashford.
yeah.
Marcel.
Leave Marcel out, all him out. Shucks, man. I'll in fire and all I want to call the man. Hey, Arun. Good
No, but
night, man.
that's
Thanks for
how bad
joining.
things. That's how bad things are. Things what's you feel think bad
Um,
and joke?
Chef saying we have to be we have very selfish players. Every other team has players, big names, small names, who just play for their badge. Watch me too much decisions today earlier where players playing for themselves and they didn't play for the
Yeah.
team. Yeah. Hey Kenton, welcome buddy. Thanks for joining. Saying all of a sudden we players can't pass.
This
Yeah,
is
boy.
not all of a sudden. No, don't try that. Kenton, do not try that.
there's at
You
least 2
say
years now.
all of a sudden McTominay and Fred can't pass? Don't do
Oh,
that.
there's about 2, 3 years now, boy. Not all of a sudden.
He's saying anybody have anything to say about Bruno? Is it just me? Yeah, Bruno.
I done with Bruno, boy. Next comment. Done with Bruno.
But still, Bruno still will provide the cutting edge better than anybody else you have in the team at the moment.
But Nico, Bruno does look for the Hollywood pass all the time. Bruno can't keep a football game simple, Bruno does not know how to orchestrate or conduct a football game. He
We
doesn't.
need Pogba back in the team soon, quick, fast. To get my stress
Soon, quick.
levels down a little bit.
Soon, quick, fast.
I tell him, that's shit.
Yeah, Jody said De Gea for captain. Yes, for me that right now, I don't. That's a matter.
I
just
would
want my
love
players.
De
play.
Gea is my number one for captain as well too. But that guy is Spanish. He is not English. So
Yeah, so he can get that. David Cousin saying energy is amazing. Could mean he have no technical skill. He just complimenting Scott only because he scored. Yeah, but here why I telling you, as I was telling Ian today, when we were talking about this comment from Ralph. Though stay away from them kind of adjectives. Say, he was good, he progressing, decent, we glad to have him, he scored a goal. Don't go through amazing and captain material. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey.
Yeah, so Arun saying it's more than decision making for the players. They lack confidence also. Rashford should have poached that goal easily.
Yeah, why? Because Greenwood didn't play. Pass to him. Yes, Reem would have said we spoke about this, and Reem said yes, he should have cut it back. But to me, it would have been more difficult to cut it back than to shoot.
You
Because
think
to
so?
me, yeah,
Now watch
because
that back now.
Greenwood
Watch
was
that back.
1-on-1 on the keeper, right? And it had almost two players marking that cutback to Rashford. And I think at that speed and at that pace, Greenwood was moving at, it was easier for him to get a pass wrong than to get it right.
At least
Because Aguero would be
Greenwood
struggling.
test the keeper. He test the keeper at least.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Here
He's
now.
struggling
Here
with
was my
passes.
here was
Struggling
my
with
thing with
passes. That simple pass, even that make it. I tell you, I could have put everything he wasn't gonna make that pass right.
here was my thing, and there's my issue with Greenwood, right? Greenwood having a real good game. I find Greenwood growing in terms of his
Yes.
body being able to shield players and move through. Greenwood look
You're looking good.
yeah, he looking good. But
Build
you
up
see when
play
coming,
and
you see when coming to in front of goal, Greenwood becoming a very frustrating player to watch.
Inconsistent.
Right? Greenwood is. I remember when Ollie had just taken over the club. It had this video when he was coaching Mulder that was circulating. Shoot, shoot, shoot. And it's like every time I see Greenwood in front of goal, it's like he'll be hearing Ollie saying shoot. Because like Greenwood don't see nobody else. It's like
Nobody
everybody
else,
else around him, they just say, well, all right, well, he gonna shoot, you know. And like Greenwood don't disappoint. Greenwood has to be a little more unselfish
more team
in front of
oriented.
goal. Yeah, and because it's getting very, very frustrating watching Greenwood shooting from all over the place. I know you have it in your locker, but be unpredictable now.
Yeah, true.
So, anyway, so fellas, we talk about it. It was in the comments. Let me try to get in a little more on Rashford and Bruno. You know, because them fellas, you know, they've been really, you know, bad enough scoring. And, you know, last season, you know, I have been saying that them fellas been poor for a while. But, you know, all the control stats at me. Right? So, it are no stats. So, without the stats now, everything is a little more glaring. All I feel two of them fellas going through the Olita banker. What going on with Rashford and Bruno?
I honestly would continue to give Bruno opportunities to regain his form. Rashford, on the other hand, I think it has been a while, you know, a long while since Rashford has delivered anything at all. And I'm talking about down to a simple pass. Rashford hasn't been able to deliver over a long stretch, you know. So for me, I think that Rashford really needs a rest. You know, I want to say a rest is just to take time to catch back that form on the training field and keep it there for a while, right? But Bruno, I think he still has a lot to give. I think we shouldn't throw any towel on Bruno. As that we know the quality he has, and I think it's a matter of time for even under this system, this coaching, for Bruno to find his rhythm. And I think the moment Bruno find his rhythm, I think the team will continue to decide what to do. And I think a big part of Bruno finding a rhythm is Pogba coming back into the team.
What's your thoughts on that, Phil?
Marcus Rashford, like I've been telling many people on this podcast and different podcasts, he has the ability to feed the children off the pitch, but he can't feed his own teammates. Right? Marcus Rashford is frustrating to watch. He's been frustrating for at least a good couple of seasons. I was on a couple of podcasts before, right? And I asked some of the people on the panel. I asked people on the comments, right? 2 years ago versus 2 years versus now. Has Marcus Rashford improved? And that had them thinking, oh, Phil, he had an injury. I said, okay, no problem. But at the end of the day, the best ability is availability, right? Now I go back to my previous question. 2 years ago versus now, has Marcus Rashford improved? Right? Marcus Rashford is 24 years old, right? In my opinion, a 24-year-old football player who has been given first team for X amount of years should be better than a 22-year-old football player who has also been given first team for the same club, Manchester United, right? Marcus Rashford needs to hold some bench, right? It's unfortunate that there aren't any other players who can play on the left that are better than Marcus Rashford, because I can go back to us bringing in Dean Henderson. I can go back to us bringing in Alex Telles, and you know what? They elevated the games of David De Gea and also Luke Shaw, right? So kudos to those two transfers, right? But there's nobody that we can bring in, or there's nobody on the bench that can play on that left-hand side, maybe bar Paul Pogba, right? But at the end of the day, Marcus Rashford has been very frustrating to watch. With regards to Bruno, like Nico said, we all know what Bruno can do, right? But Bruno needs to be a bit more disciplined, right? Sometimes Bruno takes, sometimes Bruno shoots himself in the foot, you know. The times Bruno can be an orchestrator from in the middle of the park, but he wants to orchestrate from the defense. He wants to orchestrate from the left back, from the right back, and the guys are confused. They're like, why Bruno doing in front of me? Like 2 yards away. You should be in the middle of the park. Right? That's, I don't know, man.
Let me just get some comments here, right? Well, since that Sheffy ain't gonna read none of your comments again, right? He go say it for himself.
Good night, my brothers. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Jody saying here it's simple. Donny van de Beek and Sancho to replace Bruno and Rashford. Eric saying here, do you all think Rashford has hit his peak? For me,
at 24 years old?
That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
He's saying for me he can improve but needs to be benched for a few games and then return possibly as a super sub. I tell you all Rashford need, and I agree with the last part of this comment. I think Rashford is a confidence player and he need the goals.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to bring him on in situations where, you know, a team might be tired, you know, we might be up on a team, so confidence low, so they committing more people forward and you have more space in behind. And once you bring him on consecutively over some games and he get the goals, then you can start to see him play with more confidence. Because right now I don't know if you all saw the pitié with him on the bench with Bruno. You all saw that?
Yeah.
Dude, he looked real. He looked crushed, boy.
You all remember in the early days of Rashford, when he was really an impact player. He would come off the bench. He would do his thing against tiring defenses and stuff. Yeah. And then eventually injuries and whatever, he worked himself into the starting lineup. Yeah. I personally find they need to go back to that because God hear me. Let me tell you something earlier. Marcus Rashford
Arun, you're right.
and Bruno Fernandes make me on my last day of vacation say, nah boy, I can't deal with this thing. Let me go and drink rum, you know. I couldn't deal with that shit today, boy. Them fellas was frustrated. And the thing is, I frustrated, and them looking like them don't have a clue.
Yeah, like that's okay. Like that's okay. Whatever.
I don't know what's going on with Rashford game, boy. It just getting worse and worse and worse.
And Marcus Rashford frustrates me more than Bruno Fernandes because
he does.
Here we're going on, right? Marcus Rashford, when he burst onto the scene, Marcus Rashford scored on his Europa League debut, his Champions League debut, his England debut, his Arsenal debut, his Manchester Derby debut. Even fast forward, this guy came off the bench and scored a hat trick versus RB Leipzig, right? Well, you can't improve from there.
But you all let me pose a question to you all, right? And then I'll go to some of the comments, right? You all think that because Chef mentioned that, you know, Rashford is so good as an impact player. You all think that Ralph doing more harm than good continuously starting in games?
Eventually, if he performing like that, that manager will have no choice but to drop him. I want to see Elanga and them other youths and them get a chance now. I want to see Ghana get pulled back from loan and play.
You saw the game, Chef, against Arsenal?
But then I went and get the whole... And for me to go and find a game Arsenal after the fact, I had to see how this... Because everybody was talking about it. I say, see me? I don't like to hear people. Let me watch the game. Dan... That youth run for 90 minutes. Hard, you know.
He had a good game.
The man had an excellent game, though. And of course, the man game, and I don't like to put this kind of pressure on guys, but the man game remind you of Carrick bad. Right. So you can't tell me we have this kind of talent, and we had to rely on McFred or Bruno Fernandes. Then I tell you, Manchester United is a team that is supposed to have at least 3 starting lineups at any point in time.
When you
We
watch
barely
all
have
City
one.
be rotating, when you watch all City
Of
rotating,
course.
it's quality,
Of
quality, you know.
course.
Them third team beating we first team, you know.
The
Then
problem
people
is our
talking
centre
this.
mid. That centre mid, but that centre mid in a mess. Bro.
That centre mid, boy,
But let me just get some more comments here, guys. Right? Anderson, welcome, buddy. He's saying I think Rashford should have never played in Euros. He should have take time to rest, and he rushed back from surgery and struggling to get himself back. I don't know, boy. I don't know.
forget that excuse.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's an
Forget that
excuse,
excuse.
Anderson.
Forget that excuse. Manchester United fans, I swear, we just look for the rainbow in the rings of Mars to make an excuse, Dread. Forget that. The man playing shit. Full stop.
And even to add to that, Anderson, I find, you know, even before the Euros, when the Villarreal game, his stats was covering it up. The goals and assists he was getting was covering it up. But now that dry up, you see the performances for what it is now.
Because when, so let me tell you something, eh? When was the COVID break?
That was in
Last
2020.
season.
2020.
Yeah. Right. Let me tell you something. Marcus Rashford has been playing poor as far back as that. But everybody get caught up with his child feeding ass. Forget that. Play football. Man, Marcus Rashford has been poor. And I'll tell you something. I know I will regret saying this. But right is right, though. If all you want to give Rashford all these chances, then you should have probably give Martial these chances too.
Or you leave Marcel out of your mouth.
I say that. Hey, he's still a Manchester United player, yeah?
Exactly. He's still paying his wages.
He leaving just now to go and own La Liga, right?
Yeah, going at damn place. Nobody wants.
I'll take a little Rashford and a skin now, man. Right? Riyadh, welcome, buddy. Riyadh been missing for a while, but thanks for joining. He's saying missed most of the first half and part of the second half. The team is lost. They are lazy. Marcus doesn't seem interested, unable to pass, unable to shoot. Mason shooting was poor to say the least. I see no improvement in this foreseeable future. Wow. In the foreseeable game, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric saying so Ronaldo is not the problem because we still played yesterday. Yeah. Nico, once Ronaldo in that team, Bruno will not be himself.
Nah, Bruno will find himself.
Ronaldo was Ronaldo in the team today?
No, but what the point Jody's saying, I think, and this is in response to a comment Nico made earlier, in how to see the best in Bruno, but as long as Ronaldo, they be realizing that Ronaldo and Bruno can't play. So
that I don't.
Done. Them thing is nonsense.
I tell you, watch me. So then why it is right when you watch Portugal play? No, but even for Portugal going back, Bruno and Ronaldo.
Ronaldo wasn't there. Ronaldo was not there last season. And Bruno was playing crap last season.
I was just about to come to that.
So how we could use that as an argument?
We only signed Ronaldo in the summer and Bruno for the entire 2021. That's garbage.
Right, but the point I'm making, right, is, and as I said before, it looking glaring now because Ronaldo taking all the stats away from Bruno.
Is he?
Yeah,
what's that?
Because he getting all the penalties. The penalties,
go ahead.
The few penalties we get, right? The few penalties we get, because Marcel here to win them for we. Ronaldo taking them, right? The last penalty Bruno take, he missed, right?
Right.
Everything going to Ronaldo now. Before, we used to play to Bruno. But everything going to Ronaldo. So Bruno is no longer the center of our football.
No, that's not true. That's
not true, man. But I would say this. Go ahead, Nico.
That's how the team used to play last season. Bruno was the main man. So even though Bruno would have this and that, Bruno was taking free kicks, Bruno was taking penalties, every pass going to Bruno. But now that is not the case because Ronaldo coming to command more of everything. So Bruno's suffering. And I agree with Sally because I used to say it last season and Nico used to disagree with me. But the only difference between now and last season is the statistics. Bruno not getting goals and assists, but his performances is the same.
You know what is one of...
No, his performance is not... It is way worse.
I'm telling you.
It is way worse.
Obviously it will deteriorate. Obviously it will deteriorate.
You know what is one of the things that for my part, is showing up the most. I don't know how men just watch football, but I just be real technical about everything I watch. You see, Bruno Fernandes, positional play.
Poor,
That man have
poor,
no discipline at
poor,
all.
poor,
At
poor,
all. It had times
poor.
when Bruno Fernandes, if you supposed to be the engine room, come short and get the friggin' ball, Dread. You want to be sliding onto the left side. Daniel is the engine room. Bruno Fernandes, I think, is one of the only players who manager to manager has the freedom to be on any side of the field. Come for the ball. It had times men, and I find if you're supposed to be already one of the senior players on the team, a manager don't have to tell you everything. You could be watching the game and seeing things. If you seeing men under pressure in the midfield with, let me say, Matic and Scott or McFred, come and help them. He would not do that. That man need to see will stick up and wait for the ball to make, as Phil
But
says, the Hollywood pass.
Chef. The reason why people will defend Bruno is because Bruno would see Scott and Fred under pressure. As soon as Scott and Fred lose the ball, you know what's the camera highlight for some fans? Bruno running back and winning and trying to win the ball and then playing it out safely. Everybody's like, "Yay!"
After the fact.
Yeah, well, that we like them. We like them kind of passion merchants in this club, you know.
Yeah.
Once a man could grab the shirt
with
and
nothing.
Nothing.
With nothing.
Jesus saying here, I find Rashford, Bruno don't play like they enjoying the game. Bruno used to be smiling, and Rashford used to be willing to take on, etc. Something not sitting right. Eric saying Luke Shaw almost cost us a penalty. We were very lucky.
Well, you could tell me what them fellas have to be grouchy about. No, like literally. We don't know men personally, but just think about it now. I am making 200,000 a week.
Nah, that is saying nothing, you know.
Playing for one of the greatest clubs in the world, and I am happy.
Boy. I don't think that was money, boy, because the stress to play for Manchester United is not the same.
Agreed.
Like for Aston Villa, you know.
I agree.
You know, and with poor performances and you know the pressure that's be on you. The pressure that's be on you, so you could be unhappy. That could have you unhappy.
But Nicole, let's watch it this way, right? And I agree with you. By the way, I agree that obviously the pressure of playing for Manchester United is unbelievable. But you playing for Manchester United, right? Football is your career, right?
Right.
So in everybody's career, we just have times when we might, be out of it.
We
might have a slump.
Correct, yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's our career. And unlike so much others, them fellas get to do the career that they love. Your performances basically will show the world how good you are. So your contract could go up, your popularity could go up, or it could go down based on your performances. So you telling me the whole world watching you as a player, and you not telling yourself, boy, let me improve. I'm playing crap. I'm playing selfish. So in my mind, all you're just there marking time and doing nothing. And Manchester United have too much players like that. That it just seems like the marking time. And we need to do what Inter did some seasons ago when Inter, it was like what? About 10 or 11 players Inter came and get rid of. And everybody was shocked when they did it. And signed was about 12 players, and boom, with a manager, and they come and win the league. That is what we need to do. We had to make up our mind now. Manchester United doesn't need to one or two players.
I could just say this now, right? Some of these performances will not be allowed in certain parts of the world, just to let you know.
Of course not. Of course not.
I just got some comments, guys. All right. Karen Rackberg, thanks for joining. She's saying, good night, guys. Not convinced by this win. Players need to put aside their egos, and they also need to understand Ragnick is their coach and not their friend. Yeah. Davindra, good night to you too, buddy. Saying Donny changed the game. I'm gonna say it again for Nico, right? Donny changed the game.
No, I have a question mark over that. I have a
And
question
can't
mark
start
over that.
really. Fellas, what that man have to do? We go talk about Donny just
Is
now.
it,
How long did Donny play for today?
about 20
How long?
minutes.
So let me push Nico to the side with your by yourself.
Go ahead.
How-
let me hear you.
How did I ask him? How did he play in truth?
Me see nothing to talk about. However, the
Uh-huh.
change of the formation made a big difference.
Okay.
Because I
okay.
didn't see Donny came on and do anything for me to write to him about and say, boy, you look good. You know, but
Who he came on for?
Cavani.
Cavani, yeah.
He came on for Cavani, but to be honest, right, when he came on, we regained control of the game because
Yeah,
Right.
Ragnick said that.
Aston Villa was pressing us, they was pushing us, and it was seeming like, hey, we don't know what happened for Aston Villa might have score. And I know was saying, but why this man don't make a sub? I find it's taking real long to make that sub. But I guess he wasn't just thinking about the sub, but the formation we was going to play when he made this sub. I think he made the right call because we gained control of the game after that. After that, all of a sudden, at that instant I'm talking about, you saw the football change. You saw all the attacking verb Aston Villa had, it was gone. We had possession of the ball, and then later on he'd have made change with Ilanga and Lingard again, and with the pacer Ilanga and even Lingard, the football. I think that was the most comfortable we were for the rest of the game, to be honest.
I'm glad to hear Ilanga and Lings got. I don't understand why Lings not getting a proper run in this team at all, boy. I don't know.
His head is not there. His head is not
No,
there.
I choose to think, and I think you had mentioned it before, Phil. Earlier, instructions being given that certain players have to play, right? And that is what it is. That is what it is. That is what I believe.
So y'all think that whole contract thing really have to do with why Jesse not playing?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Okay.
All right. Jody saying, boy, it's simple. Again, all Rashford needs to do is die back here, black. The man of like a blonde.
Good one.
And this is saying, no, I don't agree. He is playing awful, but I think he should have rested. Well, I mean, I hear you. Dwayne Duran, thanks for joining, but he said Rashford playing poor, but Ronaldo can't put a ball in a whole empty goal. Chef, you go cook here talking foolishness. All right, I don't know if I read that correct. Right, Rashford playing poor, but Ronaldo can't.
He's telling Chef to go and cook because Chef is talking foolishness. That's what.
Okay. Well, I know Chef probably know Dwayne.
That may be about Ronaldo and Bruno. You know, since Ronaldo came.
But the point of the matter is people keep on saying that Bruno and Ronaldo can't play together, and Bruno is the cause. Ronaldo is the cause of Bruno's form, and I will keep on saying that is not a good argument because Bruno Fernandes has been playing nonsense since last season when Ronaldo wasn't even a talk to join the team. So you can't tell me that. You cannot. You know what? I honestly believe it boils down to egos, one, and it boils down to bad positional play. It have many times Bruno Fernandes could get the ball, bongs, boom, come short for it, bongs, get back a short pass. No, Mr. Mandos want to take the pass wide left and want to put it wide right. And that is not football. That's not all that football is about. And we as fans, we like to applaud that and say, yeah, boy, pass, boy. But then, why you can't just build a play?
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying long time. Build the football, keep the ball, maintain possession, joke, look nice, you go progress the ball.
Then we have a manager. We have a manager who preaching control.
You got
Control
any players
is,
to do that? You got any players to do that?
but I hear you. I not going to say we have the best technical players, but we have. I still believe that we have players that could come out and do better job. You can't tell me
Maybe amongst different players, but I.
So, fellas,
Right,
let me
so
just.
Because what you asking for? What you really asking from Fred? He can't do that. We asking from Scott? He can't do that either.
So, fellas, before we continue, right? We just need to get a word from our sponsors. Yes, already we have somebody sponsoring, all right? So we just want to make sure we get them in, all right?
All right, again, as we continue to promote the sponsor, Pro Glow Collision Center, right? 06 Hyper Village, Usilac, services, auto body repair and refinish, muffler repairs, replacement of auto body parts, windscreen replacement, and you could also get quotation for your vehicular repairs, right? And you see the both contact numbers, right? Feel free to call or even WhatsApp. Yeah.
Right. So as customary, Phil started last time. Do they repair football teams?
Unfortunately, not.
But
Because-
big up to the sponsor though. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. So Dwayne saying here, yeah, that point remaking is very strong. Yeah, once Ronaldo came, that's what has happened apart from his own issues, and I think this is with regard to Bruno, right? Dwayne saying, but Bruno complaining attitude and body language and ability to keep it simple, along with looking for the difficult pass or giving away the ball frequently, didn't make things better for him too. Yeah.
That's
Mark-
all we preaching every week.
Yeah, Mark. Joseph saying players are playing for self-praise. Go through, Chef. Sorry.
It is. It constantly seems like it's just individualism.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus, don't come with this rubbish, there, man. Man, the big fight 3 men and will knock the ball, knock to Bruno. While Bruno and another man watching it, and it went to.
Here.
Hey, I can't remember this. I be so biased. I be so
Jesus.
biased.
Nico won't see them thing.
Nico,
Nico won't see them thing.
Nico,
Nico will not see them
Nico
thing.
will make me. Nico will make me go and watch the second half for this game tonight, you know,
No, you
because
need to.
Nico
You
is
need to.
one
You
wicked
need
man,
to.
you know.
You need to.
I tell you,
agree.
I not denying.
Football change.
I not denying what
he had
Jesus
no
say,
part
but
to
Nico
play
just
that.
hating. That's what going on.
If they put Phil Jones in that position, the football that change.
Oh, yeah, this man.
That's shit.
Yeah, this
You're
man.
wicked.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
me.
that's
Chef,
cool.
they say last time he mixed with Satan. That was going with Nico. Right
Yes,
now.
Nico makes it the air. Nico hate Paul. Nico, be honest, in front of everybody. It have a man track a girl named Danny Van Der Beek.
No way.
I feel so.
I
Oh,
just haven't
God, it's
seen-
like a man so
I
much,
haven't
boy.
seen anything, right, to prove that he deserved to play, other than the rubbish
Right.
that the other players playing. Other
Well,
than the
guys,
rubbish that
well,
Fred
you know what?
Hampton playing. That is the only
Right
reason
now,
I-
that's good enough.
that is
That
the
rubbish
only-
they're playing good enough.
That is the only reason why he should play.
Yeah. I feel this entire team need a psychological makeover. Yeah.
Well, that's why we have somebody for that now.
Yeah, he walk cut out. He walk cut out.
Yeah.
And
He
he
walk
pay
cut
he
out.
whatever it needed because boy,
Now you
that
have
real
sleepless
man
nights,
had-
boy. Sleepless
yeah,
nights.
there are too much men on this side who hadn't screw on properly.
Yeah.
Ethan Lynch, thanks for joining, man. Blessing and love to you too, man. Jody saying a manager can teach all he wants if the players are not psychologically, mentally fit, it will never work out.
Agreed.
And if that's the case, well, then we're seeing that's the situation, right? Ethan Lynch also saying when Jesse and Donny van de Beek came on, the team had better balance. So,
Agreed.
you know, and then too, you remember Lingard and Donny van de Beek, their style is more possession base. I think Lingard could play
It
the
is.
possession jokes
It
football.
is. It is
So
possession based.
obviously, if you have those kind of players on the field, then obviously the football will look different. It's not rocket science all here, you know.
Quick question. How come, your opinion rather, how come Henderson didn't get a start today?
Say some illness.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, so he wasn't
sick,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Maguire.
But
He and Maguire was sick.
but Ralph Ragnick did say that Dean Henderson did ask to leave, right? And
blank
he
him.
told him, he told him no. He told him no.
Yeah.
To leave what, the club?
Yeah,
club,
for
yeah.
January. Yeah.
Yeah,
Serious?
yeah,
I missed that one.
yeah.
What?
Nikki's saying, how can Donny van de Beek prove himself if he doesn't get game time on the field?
You will get
Nico?
time. Don't worry, you will get time. You will get time.
Yeah,
You'll
5
get time.
minutes here,
And when-
2 minutes
and when he
there.
get time, I want to prove me wrong, right? So all who say that he looked good for the 20 minutes he played today, then you know what? Next game, he should get half an hour. Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Nico
But I say
brutal.
improvement.
Nico,
So that's
Nico
improvement.
brutal.
Yeah.
That's
Nico is a real hater, you know.
Next time, half an hour. Prove yourself
Nico,
half an hour. And then, all right.
I feel
You'll
Nico
get half.
related to Roy Keane, boy. Hey.
Then you'll get half. And after half, you'll get 60 minutes and then you'll get a full game.
So fellas, we are not out of the, how to put it, boy, we're not out of Aston Villa, shade yet, right? Because we facing them, we have to travel to Villa Park on Saturday, right?
That's gonna be a tough game, eh?
Yeah,
Very
and,
tough.
and may I add that they will have Philippe Coutinho in his ranks, and Philippe Coutinho, every time he play Man United, he just have a tendency to put one in the top corner.
The man
Right.
score screamers all day, every day.
He do it for Liverpool,
Yeah.
he do it for Barcelona, he just do that now, and he could be in the ranks. And I mean,
He
Aston
coming to
Villa-
prove himself too after
Yeah.
being a rank shitong for the last few years. So yeah.
Here is interesting fact, right? There's a clause in the contract that he signed with Barca from Liverpool that if he wins the Champions League,
Yeah.
Barca have to pay Liverpool money, right?
Yep.
So Barcelona loan him to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
He score against Barcelona to knock them out of the Champions League, and he win
Yep.
the Champions League with Bayern Munich. So Barca had to pay Liverpool.
Yeah, I read about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Barcelona played a lose on this deal, we. Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway. So guys, we're going into to our next, tough game because Gerrard has Aston Villa well drilled. I'm not seeing. I hope, and we're going back to that term, that the team could show up and we could see something to talk nicely about and enjoy next review. But what your thoughts are on this upcoming game on Saturday against Aston Villa at Villa Park? Now, factor this in to your closing thoughts, Chef.
Yeah, Villa is that I tell you, the little I watch of Villa today and previous games since Gerrard has come in. Gerrard really had a team. That team is buying in to the style of play Gerrard wants to play. It's an obvious style of play. Even when he was in Scotland, he has a style of play he wants to play. He wants to play a very possession-based football. He wants to play a very fast-paced football. And we saw it at times against us today. That being said, I just want to believe that if these players and them have a little pride in the play, that we supposed to beat Aston Villa. I'm sorry. But even with this current team, we're supposed to be beating Aston Villa. There's no reason. It is going to be a tough game, mind you. But I still think we could go to Villa Park and win. So I will say 2-1.
All right, nice. Phil?
I mean, with the performance that Villa put down today away from home, can you imagine how they will play at home against us? They already came to our they already came to our stomping ground, and they put in a performance. They didn't get the result they wanted, but they're going to be so up to give the fans a better performance than what they saw today, right? Chef, boy, I don't know. You're very confident that United are going to win, but
No, I'm not actually.
I don't know. I honestly have been numb for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know what? Whatever Chef say, I say, man. I'm done.
Oh God.
Anderson saying, yeah, different approaches needed because Villa could have won today. Uh, Nico?
For me, boy, yeah, what's going on, eh? You see, if we, as soon what I've said before, if we pass the ball properly, right, then I think some of our problems will be solved. But I tell you from the Newcastle game, it was before that too, eh? But from the Newcastle game, it has deteriorated at all-time low.
Yeah, simple passing to her.
Simple passing. I think we should focus on getting the passes right. And I think as long as we get the passes right, I think we would look much better. We will have better control and we would win games. But we had to get our right first. We had to get our right. I think if we get our right against Villa, then I think we have a better game, a strong game. You know, it's hard for me to even call a result because I don't know how much more grays I might end up getting. Right? But just thinking about it and thinking about the performance today and thinking about going Villa Park, my pressure going up right now. Right? So I just hope for the best. Let me improve the passing and win the people game. That's what I say.
Jody saying here 2-1 win for United. And Van Bissaka lost his spot to Dalot. I thought Dalot was very, very good today earlier.
Yeah,
even
the
though
only thing could keep Dalot out of that game is that gas she got on his foot. Other than that, because he did well to make it through the game today with that kind of dig. But adrenaline is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
When he wake up tomorrow morning, he's going to be in so much pain.
He might be able to train tomorrow.
Yeah.
So most likely, Basaka might start on the weekend.
And they go swell too, eh? They go swell too.
It's gonna swell.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna swell a lot too.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Bissaka more than likely could be the one playing on Jesus Christ.
Is Maguire gonna be back in this team?
Yeah. Maguire
I
will be
hope,
back
I
on.
hope that's Maguire. He leave Maguire on the bench and Maguire catch
How you
back.
go leave your captain on the bench?
What I mean,
It's easy,
Because
it's
he
easy for me
should.
to
He's not my captain, I can tell you that. He's not my
it's easy
captain.
Because he
It's
should.
easy for me to do, but I'm telling you, he
But-
not putting Maguire on the bench.
yeah, but we got clean sheet today. If Maguire played today as a Velasco, because watch me, them fellas that has that's chomping at the bits to run at Maguire, right?
Yep.
The confidence alone rocketing up by 20%. That's no Maguire on the field. Oh God, I can't wait to catch him in that one-on-one. Oh God, when I catch him in that one-on-one, I'm gonna tear him up. Right? So here what? I wanna see Lindelof and Varane, right? Against Villa again.
But here what I'm saying, right? I have to recognize some I have some to do some honorable mentions today. I thought Varane was solid, solid,
Yes.
right?
Shaw wasn't that bad. Shaw wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Varane finding back his form.
Yeah. And Varane showing the levels, Varane showing the levels.
But he was only player kind of composed.
That'll show you how poor the team is. That our best players today were
Exactly.
Varane, Dalot, Shaw.
The
to some
defenders.
extent.
Yeah.
I honestly looking forward. I want to see how Ivory Coast play. I really
Nice.
want to see how Eric.
Right?
Yeah,
Here, you see that African Cup of Nations?
it's a vibe,
Yeah, that's a real vibes
Yeah,
football.
of
They're
course.
doing all kind of thing.
Of
The
course.
kind of thing that you will not do it in the Premiership. So by you
Yeah.
fitting perfectly. By you
Yeah.
can do all kind of span and thing in
That-
on the
that-
line.
some kind of
African Cup of Nations more exciting than Copa America, you know. Don't get
Yes,
twisted.
By far.
it is.
because here's the
Don't
thing.
get twisted.
Sometimes Copa does really look. I don't like that. That's one tournament I
Boring.
personally don't
Yeah.
enjoy at all.
Yeah, true.
But African Nations Cup does real mix the flair with the viciousness. Dog, some men does get some blade in
Yeah.
damn game. And just be like, we just be talking about the games and be like, my God. So I find this year it getting a lot more exposure, which I'm
Right.
glad.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
taking in the games.
Yeah, 'cause I think Sky Sports bringing it.
Sky Sports,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, for me, I don't want to be a downer, but I know that this game on Saturday will be, doubly harder. because I mean we're going to Villa Park, so we know they're going to have the fans on their side. And if we are to win that game earlier, it could be because of a moment. Because I'm just not seeing, that kind
Cohesion.
of cohesion. Thank you very much. That's the
Yeah,
perfect
we're not
word.
seeing it. We really
I'm
not seeing it.
seeing that in the team to say, well, hey, we're going to see something happen and it's going to be something repeated and repeated as though, it's rehearsed. And I'm just not seeing that earlier. Right? So I'm not really expecting anything. It's like how to say it. You hope for you expect the worst. How do you say it?
Expect
How do
the
you say
best,
it?
but
You're
hope
hoping
for
for
the
the best. You're hoping the best, but expecting the worst.
Exactly.
And that's how I going into this game on Saturday, because I really not seen my team progressing. Earlier, if I know how positive and optimistic I was after that first 30 minutes at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
hoping to see
Everybody.
how the team would have built upon that performance and more time under Ragnick and his philosophy and that style. And I was relishing to see how our team would be playing
Everybody.
after just 30 minutes against Crystal Palace. And boy, we fall off a mountain, boy.
Only I will say this, and this is not no thing, but just to add to what Reem said there, that is why I keep on saying, you see, Ragnick, to bring Ragnick there earlier for a reason. And as some you all said earlier that normally when an interim manager comes in or a manager comes in, he tried to change things as quick as possible. But understand this. That man wasn't brought in to get a job on a permanent basis. He is going to be working with whoever that manager that comes after. And I honestly believe that man just with a notebook right now, gone, maybe, gone. I honestly feel that is what is going on.
German different.
Them German that I have never, ever, and all you can correct me, seen a German coach who doesn't have aggressive efficiency. The don't play. Even Klopp, all you remember all this goody nonsense when Klopp first came to England. Klopp get rid of men at a side.
Yeah, carry that man.
But
After the first.
But let me ask you something, right? I know we in the wrapping up phase, but just entertain me for a little while again, right? Do you all think that the fact that the players know that Ragnick is not long term, he just here for a short time, you think that's having him that is of any value when you look at what's going on at the club right now?
I find that should not be done. That is not all you. That's for all you to study.
Yeah, we understand.
All you're supposed to be studying to impress this man, because here's what: even if this man is not all your manager next season, this man is going to have a direct impact on all your being there.
You're gonna have a say because who put him there? Expecting a proper report.
That's right.
Because you're gonna say, well, all right, my term up, my interim, and he pick up your bag and go.
Dan, let me tell you something.
Provide a proper report of each and every player within
technically
that squad.
You see them.
Technically, Ralph has been hired for 2.5 years. If you look at it this way. He's hired for 2.5 years.
Dan, let me tell you something. If I don't know how much of you all follow them Glazers and the other teams they have, but let me tell you something about them. And that is why I keep on saying that is why these fellas does move ruthless. So all the time we on the case, we're not getting nothing, they're not delivering anything. You see, bringing in Ragnick and telling all you is them way of finally saying, listen, we need to start winning. We need to start winning. I'm telling you, that man come there to shake up things properly.
I feel so.
I see it in that, like, for instance, right? And I know this is probably not a good example, but I guess using it to make a point, right? Because yes, you could be you could go upstairs and you could take how much notes you want, but at the end of the day, when the new manager come in, he will have his preferences, obviously. So, and I could go back to when Mourinho was here. Mourinho last couple weeks in charge, Mourinho was slagging off Rashford, right? Rashford wasn't seeing no football. But as soon as Oli came in, what Oli do? Oli pull Rashford and say, here, what's going on? So is the case. right? So my point is, if let me just say a particular player ain't feeling Ragnick, right? And it's just I'm not going nowhere, my contract long, I ain't going nowhere, right? The next manager is the one who gonna make who gonna be the man who making decisions. Because even though Ragnick upstairs, alright, Ragnick might say, sell this one, but he can't tell a coach, don't play this player. And obviously,
Right.
a player like Rashford, he's an asset to the club. His contract long, so it's not like they could sell Rashford. But
Yep.
Rashford know that when the new manager come in,
That
well,
he
this
gonna
is the
cut
man
it.
that impress.
Reem, that's not
Because-
gonna cut it. Reem, that's
Nah,
not gonna
that-
cut it.
nah.
Because they say I left foot can't change the stripes, right?
Yep.
And you telling me things. So this new coach come and things change now. Rashford gonna down tools. No coach ain't taking that.
Nah.
No, that's not
no
saying.
matter who
That's
it
not
is.
saying.
No, because
That's
no,
not
that way
saying.
you say that my contract long, right? And I could breeze out until the next manager come.
That's
Right?
not good enough.
I'm not saying that's
ain't
no.
gonna fly
Alright,
with
so
no manager coming.
all right, so all right, let me put it like this, right? I didn't mean it like
Mm-hmm.
something intentional. I meant it like, hey, here now, Ragnick not gonna be here long, so all I gotta do is survive through the 6 months. I go try my best, but I don't buy into his
survival
philosophy.
is not enough, boy.
I don't buy into his
Survival is not
philosophy.
enough.
Yeah, but
Nope.
what I'm saying is I don't buy into his philosophy, and the thing
Yeah.
I'm not gonna beat my body to buy into his philosophy when comes end of season and next
But
manager gonna come in
here-
and he gonna
here
change the
going
whole
on.
system.
Here
That's the
we're
point I'm
going on,
making.
right?
That can't cut it.
Here we're going on, right? You as a football player put yourself in a 6-month drought. You play crap for 6 months. How long you think it's gonna take for you to get back form?
Yep.
Not one match, not 2 match, at least another
Nope.
6 months.
And
But the point I'm making, right, just on Sheffield, and that's why I went back to when, the last couple of weeks under Mourinho, Rashford was having some difficulties. He was not playing well, and Mourinho dropped him. But soon as Oli came in, right, Oli had different ideas for this particular player,
and he slot him right back in.
and he saw and Rashford started
Yeah,
firing.
but that was then. I think the club taking a different approach now.
The
If
club
I could
is-
be wrong, I could be wrong, but I think the club taking a different approach from
Yeah.
that.
Reem,
And that
I
that
get
is
you,
why
eh?
Ragnick there and Ragnick
Yes.
would be there
Yeah.
for extended period.
Reem,
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, and you're making sense,
But that's
But
gonna happen- that's
but
gonna
I
happen
also believe the club, Dan, it reached a stage now, and we as Manchester United fans might not want to admit it, but you know what? Dan, we's the laughing stock, You know what we is? We's that player on a football team who are all the pretty gears and all the bells and whistles,
Yeah, boy.
but it's
Yeah.
real shit. And
Yeah.
everybody know when you're going, it's just a catch kicks on you. That's what Manchester United is right now.
I got slightly agree but disagree with Chef. I have come across Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool fans that actually have felt for us.
Yes,
Bad we
boy.
are. You know when things are so bad at your club that Liverpool. I had about 3 or 4 Liverpool fans message me over the last probably year or so, and I expected banter, and they were like, "Big Phil, boy, your club, what going on at your club, Big Phil? There's nothing, man. United didn't know.
They're feeling sorry for you.
They're feeling sorry for us, guys, because they know the standard. They know the standard United was under Sir Alex Ferguson, and we have dropped so low. Banter comes from a club playing crap every now and then. We play crap all the time, man. We play crap all the time.
So, man,
it makes sense
correct.
banter in you. It makes sense. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, so and even as Phil mentioned, standards. We I just want to go back to what the opening picture was on it was the banner passing through Old Trafford today that said standards, and it had Roy Keane and I think it's Brian Robson. So
Standards.
Our standards as the club now. We fall off.
I'm not asking everybody to do a Patrice Evra. Come to the club and just love the club and envelop yourself in everything that stands for the club. But I asking men, respect where the hell all you is, dog. Than all at Manchester United.
Yeah, I did I bread too.
I just really studied, right? So we are fans. Mind you, I guess most of us here are super fans. But think about them people who live in England, who does travel all over Europe, all over England to watch that kind of shit now. And then have to go home
People taking mortgages, boy, to go
to
and watch
buy
Manchester
season
United
tickets.
play.
And that is what all you're putting out there.
Yeah, and they will
The
put in,
one
yo.
thing,
Ah,
the one thing I always rate Ole for, he don't care what how Ole play, go and clap the fans.
yeah.
That's the only thing I ever really rate him for. Because at the end of the day, dog, you have to have respect for where he is. And I think that is sorely lacking right now.
True.
Men don't care. Because they're getting paid regardless.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that brings us to the end of the show tonight. Thanks, guys, for joining. Thank you for those who were in the comments. We do appreciate the comments, the likes, the shares. We do appreciate it. Right? Continue to support All in All United because we really get to get content and to give you a voice because we're going through a kind of time now where men just need to vent now, but
True.
But that.
So keep it coming, keep the support coming, and get more Man United supporters and fans on the inside, right? So we'll be here again on Saturday, to look back at the performance and the results of our trip to Villa Park. Tyreek, thanks for joining, buddy. Have a good night. All right,
Good
so
night.
fellas, we'll see you all on the next one.
Yeah, well.